At a Senate Homeland Security Committee hearing on July 24th, Senator Slotkin of Michigan asked Trump's nominee, Christopher Fox, who is to be Inspector General inside National Intelligence, about Signalgate and whether or not it was classified.
What is your assessment of whether classified information was shared in the Signalgate exchange? Was there classified information that you're aware of placed on an unclassified system and shared with a journalist?
Thank you for the question, Senator, and I agree with you that it's very important that we protect our sensitive information. To my knowledge, the Secretary of Defense, who is the original classifier authority, OCA, on the content from DoD, determined that it was unclassified. And in my capacity as the Acting Chief of Information Management at ODNI, our practice is to defer to other agencies for information originating out of those agencies.
Okay, so even though we now have a report that that information was directly taken from a document labeled secret no foreign, with no declassification process that I've heard of formally going on, you believe that just because the Secretary of Defense was the Secretary of Defense, he got to declassify it just by putting it on Signalgate?
I'm not familiar, Senator, with DoD's policies when it comes to declassifying or determining the classification of information, but...
Well, that's a strong statement to say that I'm not familiar with DoD's processes, but you're saying it's unclassified. I mean, first of all, I want you to be familiar. If you're going to be the Inspector General, you're going to have to weigh in on a million of these cases when people, rank and file officers, leak information. So I would just say it's hard to understand how the senior officer in charge of inspections and investigations on this issue can't speak clearly about how a potential leak of classified information is bad. And to be not familiar with the procedures is concerning.
The senator follows up with Fox with a question about Russiagate and the Epstein files.
Let me ask another question related to the reporting. I believe you're right now the senior advisor to Tulsi Gabbard, is that correct?
My title is senior advisor, but I'm performing in the capacity of acting chief of information management, Senator.
Got it, okay. So I guess what I'm having trouble understanding is, in the past couple of days, there's been reports out that your current boss has put forward going after Barack Obama and a bunch of reporting from, I think, 9 years ago now, on the exact same day that President Trump's name appeared in the Wall Street Journal as being in the Epstein files, the exact same day. It is hard to imagine that in the 4 years of the Trump administration previously, in the 6 months leading up to now, when there's been plenty of time for your boss, for you all in your front office to refer these issues to the Department of Justice, you picked the exact same day that the president knew he was going to be named as being in the files of a known pedophile, right, and a known sexual offender. Can you help me understand why? Because my 10-year-old nephew understands that that was a distraction, that we were talking about something that was 10 years old on the exact day that the president didn't want to be talking about his name being in those files. So can you answer for that?
Senator, I really appreciate the opportunity to address this. The declassification process is lengthy and it's significant, and we have an excellent team of officers who've been working on this for weeks.
You just said that that Secretary Hegseth could declassify under his authority and put out on public information a piece of secret no foreign information. So that took seconds, and I've seen presidents do this. I'm a CIA officer. Presidents can declassify very quickly. Are you saying that the reason why Tulsi Gabbard made that decision to announce yesterday or whatever it was 2 days ago was because of a lengthy declassification process? And you're talking to a CIA officer who's watched those things happen. So please tell me how in the 4 years of the Trump administration previously, it didn't get done, but yesterday it got done.
Senator, I appreciate that question and your service as a clandestine officer. These documents are reviewed very carefully and redacted as needed to protect sensitive sources and methods, and that's not an overnight process.
So
time has expired.
Thank you, sorry.
For more clips like this, stay tuned to Congress Clips. And thanks for watching.